Thank you all for coming. Just to get things rolling, starting from right to left is Mr. Joe Sornberger, Dr. Mike Curry, Dr. John Asplund, and Mr. Steve Wilder. Could you just let everybody know kind of who you are and what your role is?
Let's go with the veteran.
That's sad. My name is Steve Wilder. I'm superintendent of schools in Knoxville, Illinois. It's just starting my 8th year as the superintendent there.
And I'm John Asplund. I'm the superintendent at Galesburg 205. It's my first year at Galesburg and my 16th year as a superintendent overall.
Mike Curry, I'm the superintendent at Abington-Avon, year 1, but it's my 5th year as a superintendent.
Joe Sornberger, superintendent of Rova School Districts. This is my 4th year and my 6th as a superintendent.
Thank you very much. Would you mind telling us, just kind of in your own words, what do you do on a daily basis? What are the tasks that going on behind the scenes that people don't know about?
I would guess that the roles that we all play are a little bit different depending on the size of our district and the things going on there. For me, in a smaller school district, I wear a lot of hats. So it's constantly staying on top of financial issues in the district, the curriculum, instructional technology, special education, working with our special ed co-op, transportation, you name it. So in a smaller district, that's just part of, I think, what we do is we wear a lot of different hats and do a lot of juggling on a day-to-day basis.
And as superintendent at Galesburg, Steve's right. I have been a superintendent in smaller districts, and you do wear a lot of hats in a day, and that's really not different at Galesburg, but able to concentrate my efforts more on working with the community and really working with the area managers in the central office and the building principals to move the district forward in a unified way and try to marshal all the efforts in the community together to try to help as much as possible.
Coming from a district where I was both superintendent and principal, I'd anticipated not wearing as many hats, but at the same time, everybody's exactly correct. There's so many hats to wear. There's so many juggling, so many balls in the air every day, things to fix and people to work with and relationships to build. So all the things that have already been touched on are pretty typical in the day of a superintendent, I would say.
Yeah, and the life of a superintendent at Rova is no different than anything else. You deal with community members, staff. I evaluate teachers. I'm also the bass fishing coach. So in a small school district, you do what needs to get the job done, and you step in when you're needed and help out as much as possible.
Do you have any bass fishing advice for everybody here?
So first,
only bass fishing coach among us.
The bass as the bass fishing coach at Rova, community funded organization put together by our community members. We have 10 or 15 kids that are a part of it on a yearly basis. This is starting year 3. We just got done taking a trip to Clinton Lake as a bass fishing field trip, which is one that I definitely approve of. I think for us, our community asked for this. It's not. I wasn't sitting in my office one day saying we need a bass fishing team. We sent out a survey. The survey came back that it wanted it, support from the board and the community, and next thing you know, what happened, and we needed to coach, and there it was. So I volunteered that, and I donate my stipend back to the program so we can keep it going. But it's just getting the kids out there and putting kids in situations they normally wouldn't be in. Several kids from Rova I don't think have ever been to a big lake like Clinton Lake. So we continue to just give opportunities to kids that in some cases may not have them.
Kind of keeping in that vein, is there certain things in your district people should know about, some cool things that you guys are doing right now that the average person might not be aware of?
I took the position at Abington-Avon just this June, July, but one of the things that drew my attention to that district was their progressive classrooms, instructional technology. I would invite anybody in any of these districts, especially the Abington-Avon district, to come down and check out some of our new classrooms. They've been progressing through all the buildings over the last 3 years, but they're light years ahead of other districts already.
Well, except the districts that are here. Let's be clear. I mean, we're talking about other districts that are not named.
Far away districts.
I mean, we're not talking about Rova, Knoxville, and Galesburg.
No, not at all.
We're all right.
But I would invite anybody to come and check out our instructional technology in our classrooms.
And I would say, at Galesburg 205, obviously, there's a lot of great, exciting things going on. We have, a lot of fantastic teachers, as everybody does, and something unique that we're doing here in the next couple months is a community engagement process that we're going to reach out to the community and really ask what it is you want from your schools and what kind of skills do you want a 205 graduate to have. and really start to coordinate our efforts towards reaching those skill sets on a coordinated basis from K through 12th grade. So that's going to be an exciting process that we'll be working on for the first part of this year, and then really making action plans the second part of the year.
Kind of scary, as they mentioned earlier, I'm the veteran, at least in my position in the area. Really scary, but that puts us in a different situation. So over the last 7 years in Knoxville, we've done a lot of different things, had an opportunity to engage in some construction with the new high school, as well as the sports complex. We've implemented one-to-one district-wide. We've reviewed our curriculum in a pretty comprehensive way, and that's ongoing. So really, my goal this year is to really encourage our staff to use all those resources and the things that we've got in place to continue to push ourselves to be innovative. I wouldn't say necessarily cutting edge, but always kind of moving forward, and sometimes it's easy to get complacent and enjoy the status quo, and that's something I think is going to be my focus this year, is not resting on the things that we've done, but continually moving forward and looking ahead. So, you know, and one of the advantages I think we all have is that there are great things going on in all of the districts in the area. So it may be the things going on in the classrooms at A-Town, you know, we take something from that, try to implement those ideas, as well as at ROVA and Galesburg and the other districts. So always really kind of keeping on top of things, but the focus this year is going to be innovation.
You know, I think all of us are tired of talking about the state of Illinois and all the issues that go on there, and ultimately all we want to do is focus on educating kids. ROVA has just taken into a school improvement process called Future Ready. Basically what it is it's a process that we go through, and we look at what we do as a district and reflect and have open and honest communications on what we do. I think that's something that we have needed to do for a long time and haven't. And in those conversations we've come up with things that have immediately helped our school district, and some that we're working our way into. Right now our focus is on curriculum instruction and assessment, which is what our focus should always be, and also professional development. We're looking to individualize professional development opportunities for our teachers so they can take what they've learned and take it into the classroom to individualize instruction for their students. So we're pretty excited about that. One of the other things we're working on, the community portion, is something we've worked on very hard here at ROVA. Facebook page, Twitter accounts. We also do a ROVA Media Strong broadcast, which I do, where we interview our kids and our teachers of what's going on in the district. So that's out there on YouTube. And so just getting information out and doing positive things, and that's what we're trying to accomplish.
So I have one final question for all of you, and each of you are going to kind of answer in your own way, but why are you a superintendent? What do you like about your job? What brought you to it in the first place? And whoever wants to start.
Well, I'll start. I think that, I can only speak for myself, but we were all teachers, and then you become principals, and you see the impact that you can have for kids at the classroom level, and then, you know, as a coach, maybe you can broaden that out a little bit more. And I was a football and track coach, and becoming a high school principal, I then had the opportunity to be a curriculum director, and really seeing what was going on in the grade schools and how you could, you know, help a lot more kids, and then finally getting that opportunity as a district superintendent to really just impact as many kids as you can. You know, and I think a lot of people look at our jobs and go, well, I never want to be a superintendent because I lose that connection with kids. You only lose the connection with kids if you choose to. And so I know these three gentlemen here sitting with me, and I can say, you know, confidently that we don't do that. That, you know, that one of the great things about our job is we can go into classrooms anywhere. I mean, we can go into, you know, you want to go into a kindergarten class today and, you know, see what's going on in kindergarten, because that's obviously a really exciting thing. And then going into a, you know, a physics class and seeing what's going on there. That's, you know, that's the exciting part of our job, is being able to reach out in all different parts of the community, to reach every kid every day as much as humanly possible, and these positions allow us the opportunity to do that.
I think Dr. Axel hit it on the head with the being around the kids, doing what's best for the kids piece. But an additional part I like is trying to do what's right for the community, working with the community, whether it's updating your buildings or providing. We're going to roll out a new digital platform, Aptog, which I believe you use in Farmington.
We did.
Just to get our good stuff out to our parents here in the near future. But just hearing what the community wants and needs for their students. You know, they are the taxpayers and the parents of a lot of the students, so I think it's important to work with the community as well, and I kind of enjoy that piece.
For me, it's another challenge. From being being a classroom teacher and a coach and the challenge to get your kids to learn, to becoming an administrator in the high school or elementary level, and now where you're at running a district. Challenge to improve, to make things better. My goal at my former district in Palestine was to make things better before I left to come here, and now at ROVA, we're striving to make things better every day, whether that's our buildings is what we're working on at the high school now, and we got new floors and new entryways coming in. I'm very proud of that. That hasn't been done for years. So it's an everyday challenge, and the challenge one day may be different than the next, but in the end, the goal is to produce a product with kids that the community can be proud of.
I would agree with things that everybody has said so far. You know, I think that there's a perception that you want to become a superintendent because you want to be in charge of everything or have the authority or power, and then you get in that office and you realize you really don't have any of that, because it involves everybody that you work with, from the staff within the school district to the Board of Education to the larger community. So I enjoy the challenge of being a superintendent and the leadership that comes with that. I think it makes me a better person as well as a better superintendent.
You are a good person.
Well, you know, I appreciate that.
I could say you've become a better person.
You know, my goal
you
is
used to be
50-50.
insufferable. I didn't really like you at all 6 years ago, but you've really
Well, you
become
know,
a great
I learned from the people around me, let's put it that way. The one thing I think I enjoy on a day-to-day basis is just, in addition to the camaraderie, working with these guys, it's also being the shepherd of the resources in the community and trying to do the best that you can with what you've been given. That's certainly a challenge. You know, we talk about the state's challenges, and sometimes there are things that you want to do that are a little bit out of your reach at the time, but that's what the long-term planning is for, and just trying to orchestrate all of those pieces. And my philosophy has always been that, you know, I don't make very many decisions by myself. It really is everybody working together and orchestrating those things that makes it happen. So those are the things that I enjoy about the job.
I think that wraps it up. Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your day for kind of inform the community.